The study of time reveals a fundamental truth. Past, present, and future are not linear streams, but interwoven layers of causality. Within this framework, one can observe the final logic of systems long since collapsed and the initial conditions of events yet to occur. But a recent case study presents a profound anomaly that challenges predictive models of human behavior. The subject is an individual from a decaying urban environment, a man whose psychological profile is marked by extreme cynicism and opportunism. His behavioral history shows a consistent pattern of antisocial actions. For instance, there are records of him desecrating a memorial and rationalizing it as reclaiming public space. He displayed a lack of empathy toward the grieving, viewing emotional displays as transactional weaknesses. His core operational belief was zero-sum survival. I will pause this analysis for a moment to address a practical matter. If this line of inquiry resonates with you, and you wish for this dialogue to continue and evolve, the most effective way to support it is by subscribing. This functions as a meaningful signal to the platform's algorithms, highlighting this space as a node of valuable exploration. Yet, last night, observed within the ruins of a derelict structure, this same man encountered a critically injured person, an individual who, according to the subject's established social patterns, would be classified as an adversary. Standard behavioral models would predict abandonment or exploitation. Instead, the subject improvised a tourniquet from his own clothing to stop the bleeding. He then produced a low, non-linguistic vocalization, a forgotten melody from his early development, seemingly to comfort the other. Finally, he placed his hand on the dying man's head, a gesture incongruent with his entire documented history. He said, "You don't go alone." This action was performed in isolation, with no expectation of witness or reward. This presents a fascinating paradox. The subject did not receive social validation. No external system rewarded his action. The act appears to be a spontaneous emergence of a latent capacity for mercy. This raises a critical question. What is more significant than an ethical act performed without an audience? What is more disruptive to our models of behavior than a psyche choosing empathy when cruelty would have been the logical, unjudged choice? Society trains us to look for virtue in grand public gestures. But sometimes the most potent data points emerge from compromised sources like him, damaged systems, unreliable instruments that still generate a single, pure signal against a backdrop of noise. The conclusion is this: your own capacity for emergent, positive action is an unknown variable. Even predictive models based on all past behavior cannot fully account for it. Therefore, the challenge is not to demonstrate greatness, but to manifest grace in moments of low observation, when no one is validating, when the only witness is the quiet unfolding of reality itself. To conclude, consider a small practical exercise. If you have experienced a conceptual shift during this exploration, anchor it. Post the following declaration in the comments. My capacity for good is not defined by my past. Let this act not as a mere comment, but as your own conscious affirmation, a starting point for what comes next.